Danger Zone.
Hello, welcome to episode 23 on the 23rd of At the Tavern. I'm Tyler.
I'm Patrick, and it's a crazy coincidence.
Yeah, weird. And I'm on season 4, episode 23 of Family Guy now, which is also weird.
That's
anyway,
crazy.
Let's introduce our guests. We have Todd and Jason from Geek Arch. Geek Arch.
It's Geek Arch, Tyler.
Is it?
Geek Arch.
I see. I knew what I was saying, but it just didn't come out right. So say hello, guys.
Hey, howdy.
How's it going, guys?
There we go. There we go. All right.
Pictures. Yay!
Yay! Video. We have an action-packed show for you. I've always wanted to say that. We have an action-packed show for you and an action-packed lineup here tonight.
With
So,
explosions and fireballs.
grab your beer, smack your wife, and sit down and enjoy the show.
I'm about to get so American. There's gonna be some domestic violence.
All right. So let's start with our stuff, Pat. Let's get that out of the way.
I love our stuff. So, we actually got more of the mechanic done on the mini war game, and we've begun mechanic work on CNC. I almost said Command and Conquer. Yeah, well, this is where the mechanic comes from, Satan's Edition. We're actually ripping out the good, adding our own, and destroying the bad. And then I'm going to light all these books on fire and dance upon them.
Yes. Yes, we're reworking the mechanic, not unlike Pathfinder did with 3.5 edition.
No, there's maybe 10 things in the mechanic we're salvaging.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
we have a timeline coming out soon for the mini war game. It's going to have everything that has happened in the alternate universe up till the start of the war, because this time is past in our timeline. We're starting at, what is it, 2020. 2020 is the official start of...
Without the gay 2-hour show,
Yeah.
however long it is, and some woman telling us about what's bad.
Oh, that came out of left field.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Oh, what do you want to watch tonight, honey?
Also-
2020's on. Let's get our blankets and our hot chocolate.
Shut up, woman! Jeopardy's on. What else we got going on?
We have a press release coming out tomorrow about our extracurricular late night at the tavern activities that we do to entertain the masses.
Called Happy Hour at the Tavern. It's our Twitch live stream.
And it's a lot of fun watching us be idiots.
It's been let's be fair. I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna judge our stream really hard right now because we haven't had anybody to talk to really during our streams. It's been kind of boring.
It's just us laughing at each other with the stupid shit we do.
We beat the entirety of Rainbow Six Vegas storyline and nobody watched.
No, we had 3 guys. They'd stop in.
They'd fluctuate in and out, and we're just like, man. See, we could be really famous if we could just have people see our show.
Yeah, no one gives a shit enough though. We don't do enough really. I mean, we just, I don't know, help out other companies with their websites, build their e-commerce platforms. Sometimes initiate a random CJ, and drink Red Bull, help with their marketing and their social media.
Did you say Red Bull?
I did say Red Bull. Oh my god.
It's like people only do it for the not money they don't get.
Yeah, what money? We don't get any money at all. But I love my Red Bull.
We do love Red Bull.
And we don't mean the soccer team.
No Red Bulls. So I think that's pretty much what we got going on here.
No, we got some actual updates coming out for CNC.
Yes.
At least 4 weeks worth of back work coming out. Don't even go off screen on me, Tyler. You're not getting out of this
totally
one.
Slagging. That's my fault.
But that's alright. I wasn't even gonna point fingers. And you
I'm
just
pointing
point
fingers.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a dick. I'll get you some updates. Sorry, everyone who may be mad.
And so I think we're done with our bullshit.
Yeah. That's it. Let's move on to Geek Arch.
Geek Arch, hello friends.
Hello. So we do have an acronym that will make it easier to say. It's TGA for the Geek Arch.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so why don't you guys start out by introducing yourself? Tell us who you are, what you do.
Todd, I defer to you.
Oh, great. Hey, I'm Todd. I am whatever needs to be done. Jason's sort of the computer guy. I just sort of keep throwing up ideas and spitballing what we need to do. The whole idea of Geek Arch is was sort of born out of people always asking us, why do we play board games? Well, I'm 49, so I'm old, and avid Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu, you name it, I've played it type of game player. Plus, I like, Renfest and, chicks with their boobs hanging out, all that good stuff.
Can you turn on the other light?
So I talked to Jason about starting a company that takes people who really don't know the culture and to show them the culture of geek, from comic book collection to movies to board games to RPGs to console games, things like that. Jason does the back end, and I just sort of go out and handshake and talk to the folks and continually throw ideas at him that he has to sort of bat aside. So.
Yeah. So basically, Todd, you're like Tyler, and Jason, you're like me. That's how it goes down.
It's yeah, I'm a software engineer by trade, son of a robotics engineer, so I'm kind of in the techie space as it exists here with Geek Arch. Also, semi-photographer, videographer. Everything RPG is pretty much under my umbrella. I love playing role-playing games, RPG tabletops, mass multi-online games, first-person shooters. I read everything that's awesome. And again, Geek Arch is it's an idea. It's an ideology. It's a lifestyle. It is the arch that arches its way over all of geekdom. So
like the St. Louis Arch, but bigger.
Right, exactly. We're trying to bridge the gap. So over the gap and under the gap. For those who don't know what it is and why it is that we love what we love, we want to inform the masses, and that's what we're here for. So we do that by reviewing games, going to conventions, covering special geek events, openings of movies, covering cosplayers, recording a session of D&D, making instructional videos on how to play RPG tabletops. I mean, we do it all. So.
Okay. That is awesome. You guys are what we wanted to do in the beginning, which we've totally gravitated away from.
Yeah. Well, what's amazing, though, is when we've talked to people about what we want to do, is the response has been great from the community, both from like the convention side, the cosplayers, Renfest people, the people at the comic book stores, the guys at the game shops, the folks over at IGA. All those people have been very passionate and supportive, and we've actually been getting interviews and to go places and to cover events, and we've not really even advertised what we're doing. It was just sort of word of mouth in the area. It's already gotten us out, out in front of the curve, where Jason and I sort of had this topic to go, okay, what do we want to really focus on first to grow, because already we found ourselves going in multiple directions. So it's been pretty crazy, but, sort of in a good way.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, we've had a really surprisingly quick bunch of people follow us and like stick with us through it. And the IGA, I mean, I love the IGA. When I was talking to Matt, he dropped your name, and he said you guys had heard of us before.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was. We were talking to Matt. Well, I was running on fumes at the con. I was like day 3 or something. It was at MetroCon, is where I bumped into him, and he actually grabbed me. I was half asleep in a chair, recharging like 2 camera batteries and a bunch of other stuff, and asked me about Geek Arch, and that's how the whole conversation sort of got started with Matt. He was like dragged me over and introduced me to his crew. So we started talking about independent games, and I had stumbled across your website actually, and was sort of familiar with what you guys were doing, but I wasn't sure the game you were developing, and it was that type of a thing. So we got into this whole conversation about they need reviewers and things. I'm like, holy crap, that's awesome! I was just talking to Jason about that's something we want to get into. We work with. One of the things we're sort of passionate about is working with libraries and things like that. We have local libraries calling us to cover their events, and not just their cons, but like superhero reading days and zombie hunting events. And I mean, it's just it goes on and on what they want us to do. But we just think the tabletop thing is a natural evolution for us to get into and to review and to get that stuff out there. So it was great talking to IGA. I mean, they were just the things they had done already and telling us where they wanted to go. I was like, holy shit, man, that's pretty sweet. So really good guy. Really like talking to him. And Jason was off doing Jason's thing, and I met up with him. Dude, you've got to talk to these guys. And so it went well. It went very well.
That's fantastic.
It's good to know we're popular.
Yeah.
No, we're not just doing it for
doing it
for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that empty feeling you get afterwards.
Yeah, that empty feeling of, I really didn't need that, but I guess I'm glad I got it.
Yeah.
Great taste, less filling. Great taste, less filling.
So tell us about how you guys got started.
Well, actually, it's funny. I actually met Todd because he needed an extra person in his D&D game, and so he had put it out there that he needed one more person. And so I was online looking for a D&D game, and I found a meetup, and I joined the crew, and we started playing, and me and Todd found that we were, like-minded individuals, and we both kind of had that entrepreneurial spirit. And we started talking about, all this stuff that people do and that we could do with the talents that we both have. And we were like, we can do this and we can do that, and we're like, maybe we should start something. And so we started spitballing and kind of brainstorming, what should we call this thing? And the idea was we wanted to do it all. We wanted to be the one-stop shop for the geek. We want all the geeks to come to us when they need to know about anything in geek culture. We want to be that authority for them. So we said, what do we name that? And we started with a lot of awesome names, and we found that some of them were taken. And
things that you think are awesome, you're like later on when you look at it, you go, all right, that sort of sucks.
Yeah.
Like
it kind of all started from a D&D game, and then it went viral in our minds after that.
That's pretty awesome. Like 3 years ago, I was at work, and Tyler calls me. He's like, dude, I have a great idea. Let's start our own company on gaming. I was like, yeah! Yes! Flash forward to January of this year. We finally started doing something with that idea.
Yeah.
As you can say, the rest is history. I'm going to retire. I'll take my multi-million-dollar contract now.
Oh, really? When did that come in?
Is that not how this works?
No.
Damn it.
You actually have to work for that one.
Balls. All right. Guess I better write those updates.
Yeah, but we're trying to do a few things more. I don't know if you guys saw on our website, we did a bunch of green screen shooting for the MetroCon.
Yeah, I saw that. I perused your website.
Yeah, so it's baby steps on that. the response we got was fantastic, and we got invited for the Tampa Bay Comic Con, towards the end of July, and we were asked to go to their after party at the castle.
The castle
in
in
Ybor.
Tampa Bay, yeah.
And they want us to cover the event, but also it's a good thing because they donate to like a cancer charity at the event, and they want us to actually not only cover the event but bring the green screens to shoot folks when they come in, so we can put them in different backgrounds and stuff like that. So that was like a huge hit, and we're actually in the process of building a studio that we can film and shoot in green screen. There's a huge cosplay community here in Tampa, and we have a lot of folks interested in coming in and actually doing, let's call it like a cosplay, glamour shots, for lack of a better word, where they can come in, get dressed up, we shoot a green screen, and we put them where, comic book covers, whatever they want to do.
And one of the ideas that we were talking about is making live action cards, and we started brainstorming that idea and saying, when you get a tabletop game, right? You've got maybe some card components, some dice components, some board components. Well, most of that stuff is drawn art, right? So, let's say, for instance, Talisman. Talisman has I think 22 character cards, and then they got the little tokens or whatever. Well, instead of that being a drawn character card, that indie game would come with 22 live action shot cosplayer cards. So these cards that you would get, right, would be an actual person who dressed up in a costume and took the shot of the wizard or the druid or the superhero, whatever it was. And I think that using that medium to push something different to the industry is kind of what we're all about. Pushing the envelope, doing things outside the box.
Outside the box is the best place to work, honestly.
We've pretty much took the box.
We broke it.
Broke it open. Repackaged it with some dynamite inside. Lit it, and then walked away.
Yeah. Well, there's two other things that we're sort of passionate about, too. One is a fitness program. We're doing sort of a Geek Fit program. I looked, and there's Nerd Fit, and there's some things online. And what Nerd Fit did, it's interesting, but their page, if you look at it, it's fine, it's normal exercising, but it's just, it has little cute nerd quotes and stuff, right? And how many people play, Xbox, PlayStation, what do they really want to do? How do you get these people motivated to exercise? We talked to a personal trainer who's actually a huge golf player down here. So, we're putting together a series of very easy, short, and a couple of hot tips you're going to be exercising and superhero outfits, superhero exercises for geeks, just as a way of and we have some libraries who also are now interested for kids because we're incorporating the whole superhero angle into some big.
Nice. You could also just talk to him. Actually, here's what I would do. Go to your local SOCOM Air Force Base down there in Florida and find a drill sergeant and have him do your videos. That would be pretty awesome. Also, we went in on your anti-bullying campaign.
Yeah, that was
give us the address of these guys that are the bullies within our area, and we'll show up and kick the shit out of them, James Bond style.
I actually have an idea. For that. So, one of the advocate programs that I was looking at online has this funny online video where they show a scene of a kid being bullied, and then they show the kid working out like Rocky, right? And then the bully comes one day and he goes to pick on the dude, and then the kid like turns into a superhero and like defends himself and makes the bully run away.
Well, send your picked on children to me. I'll teach them Krav Maga and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
There you go.
Yeah, that's serious. You know, hey, the bullying thing, it's a serious thing. Here's a quick story about how it impacts people. We did a convention, and I won't go into details where or what it was at, but we had talked to a young lady, and she was with it. She had a good job. She was going to school for her master's degree, and she, you know what I mean? She was cute. She was, you know, right, Chase? She was a good-looking, intelligent woman. What, maybe mid-20s, like that. And I was like, hey, you know, can I talk to you about bullying? And we want to start to address, you know, bring awareness on how to do it. It was just sort of like sticking a toe in the water to see how, you know, what happened. And she was very gracious and agreed to talk to me. And we were, well, it was like the very first question I asked her, can you give me an instant word? And, you know, she got maybe like, in see her eyes, and you know, she got sort of emotional. In fact, it still surprised me when I was talking to you. I immediately stopped and sort of went a different way with my question. And, and, um, and that right there to me was like, showed how important school, I don't know if we're going to call it being, you know, we're actually talking to folks in the school system that work with the kids on just talking to the one person at the first time, I was just so surprised at the impact it had on her. Even though it happened years ago, you know, that really affects me.
Gotcha, man. Yeah, we had one of our previous guests. He was a victim of bullying growing up, and he used board games and RPGs as an escape. And back when I was in school, I just didn't give a shit about really anything school related. I played sports and did my RPGs and stuff like that on the weekends once a month. But they integrated the special needs classes into our regular classes. I'm not sure what they're called these days, but they had this one dude just kept picking on this girl, and the teacher wasn't doing anything, so I just grabbed my book and just started beating on this guy. Eventually, my book went somewhere, and it was just me on top of this dude just attacking him. And I mean, I was short when this happened. I was like 5'2", 110 pounds, and I was taking on this 6-foot dude who had at least 100 pounds on me. But by the time he realized what was going on, he was already wrecked. So, like, I can't stand it when people do shit like that. And in fact, Father's Day, I was at the park with my kids, and this dad was there with his kids, and he kept calling his son like a sissy and stuff, and I snapped, man. Like, I stormed up to him, and I said some things I'm not proud of, but you know, the end result was, shut your fucking mouth, or I'm gonna fucking close it for you. Don't talk to your kids like that. You're fucking them up for life.
So, good.
What, Jason?
Actually, it was me. I was gonna say, there's actually you had talked about using fitness as like and bringing in the RPG category to kind of motivate geeks and nerds and people to get more fit. It reminded me of this thing my friend showed me a while ago called it's called Habit RPG, and you're awarded different XP points for doing certain things, like you set a schedule, and to get points for doing certain things. And I remember seeing on some website or another, they have these workout regimens that are actually challenges. Like, one of them is escape the highway rogue, do 20 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, run for a mile or something like that. So those ideas are definitely out there, and I'd be interested to see where you guys take it, if you can centralize that idea and give it somewhere to bring it in somewhere so that it can then grow from there.
Right. I agree. And I probably stuff I even workouts on the days. It's a simple challenge. It's 25 burpees, 2 planks. Jason was saying,
Todd, go stop me for a second. You're like, you sound like you're at the end of a tunnel about 5 feet for like 500 feet from me. I don't know if it's our connection or something, but could you try to speak maybe a little louder? That might help. That's okay. I'll just like to clarify. Todd got hit by a lightning storm in Florida, which apparently is a regular occurrence. So he's actually joining the tavern from his phone, which is a space tavern first. So good on you. And
Paradigm breaker.
And we had good connection for a while. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we actually live in the lightning capital of the world. They call this Lightning Alley. There's more lightning strikes in this portion of Florida than anywhere else in the world. I think it's second to the Bermuda Triangle, so pretty active here on this side of the state.
I can log in and get the looking video.
Yeah, if you just want to come on with your microphone and computer, that's fine. If you
all right, give me a second.
All right.
Just amongst yourselves.
We'll stall.
We'll stall. We'll keep it going.
We'll drill Jason with a bunch of really difficult questions.
Yeah.
While you're gone. We'll make sure we get the meat of the show out of the way while you're gone. So we come back, we can sign off, and I'll go home. All right. So, while he gets that set up, Jason.
Welcome to the hot seat.
Dun, 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 dun. I feel like we need the danger zone for that.
We need our own special effects.
You gotta have the virtual DJ hotkeys ready. The applause.
Clapping.
We need a
Clapping
soundboard.
at the applause.
We need a soundboard.
Sorry, I'm a past DJ, opera singer, vocalist. So
Well, I wanted to talk about something on your website that I saw, so I guess it'd be a good time to do it while we wait.
sure.
I am a fan of the Naruto series, the second series more than the first.
I've never
Oh.
seen either one.
If that's the case, then you'll definitely want to see my arm.
Oh, well, hold on. Okay, I'm staring at it. I'm seeing it. I see it now. I see it. Okay. Took me a second.
Hey!
There he is. Okay.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, we can hear you better now.
All right, right on.
That is Kurama, the nine-tailed fox, on my arm.
Yes, I saw that now. But I wanted to talk about this. Actually, is a really interesting bridge into my specialty, as I am a playwright, screenwriter, getting a master's degree in that. They're adapting Naruto into a live stage production.
They have already done so.
Yeah, I'm looking at the video right now, and I'm actually just gonna. How long is the video? It's only a minute long, so I'm gonna share it with everybody here. Is that to everyone? Hold on. I'm not sharing the right page here. Where are you, share? Alright, this is directly from Geek Arch page. I don't know how clear this is coming through, but
Yeah, I can see it fine.
Yeah, it's coming through.
so that makes me very excited because that actually looked like the coolest thing I've ever seen ever on a stage.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Big announcement. This just in. We're going to have our sweet map for CNC next week for everyone to see.
Breaking news!
And our artist, Maddie, is going to be coming on as a co-host with us next week.
Oh,
Awesome.
And that's going to be fun times. And I know she's watching the show right now. I just called you out.
Woo! Yeah! We get to bring the artist on the show. This could be fun.
Yeah, it is.
Ask her a bunch of really weird questions, like the specifics.
Well,
of
she's not here to be grilled. Anthony Ford is joining the Tavern Tandem to be grilled.
Well, we're gonna have to grill her at some point. Because it's gonna be during the show. We're probably gonna wind up grilling her about something like the specifics of pencils or something like that.
Speaking of artists, have you guys been to the TDK section of our website?
I am right now.
No, I'm not going to even pretend.
If you go to TDK and go to Weekly Comics, that is a comic strip that our artist has created.
This is pretty cool. See, Pat and I actually watched a documentary on
Comics, guys who write in color.
It's called Stripped. For anybody out there that may want to watch it. Really interesting stuff. Talks about the golden age of comics and where comics are going. And if I could draw, I totally would have done like 4 of them by now. But I can't draw. I can only write.
I feel your pain.
Right.
If I could upload all of my ideas to an artist's brain and just be like, okay, produce.
So, Betty, if you're interested in doing a comic, maybe we can try this. I have quite a few ideas that might work better as
I
comics.
have one too, or a few.
So if we could figure that out, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. Also, you guys do a podcast?
We do.
Well, we're just getting started.
We
done a couple,
yes.
so.
Our first
Yeah,
podcast, was about the Dice Keepers, the comic that.
Yeah. Then we did one on the new Lego Worlds game that came out. So
I didn't get to watch that one, but did you guys play it? Is it good?
yeah, we played it.
Legos have been a huge part of my life growing up, like right alongside of D&D and other things with Legos.
It was actually pretty cool. In fact, what's interesting, my son loved it, and he's the one that told me because it was you got to go over to Steam to get it. It was originally in beta. I think they just released another update this week on it, but it's actually pretty cool. The downside on that, though, is they don't have all the extras. So it's just the core Lego systems. So they don't have like the Marvel superheroes, or they don't have all their other licensing that's out there for Legos itself. It's just sort of like the core game and the game worlds, but very easy to play, but a lot of fun. I mean, it was pretty cool to play and to go through and to check out. The graphics are still pretty simple, but I think it'll be pretty cool.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. If I hear anything else about frickin' Marvel, I'm gonna take a bat to Stan Lee.
You'll probably won't even have to swing it. You'd probably have a heart attack just you go to wind up.
I'm tired of Marvel. Oh my
I
god.
really am too. I don't get me wrong. Like, comic books being a mainstream thing is awesome.
Right.
Being force-fed Marvel
Right.
hurts.
And Man of Steel bullshit.
It's like eating peanut butter and jelly every day.
Hey, you know what? Now that I see on the big screen my compliments on the Stormtrooper helmet, that is very nice.
Yes, actually, it was a gift from my girlfriend.
Yeah, that is very cool.
I really enjoy it.
You know one thing we can thank Marvel for though? They have made an avenue for the awesomeness that is things like Sandman, some of the Dark Horse titles, some of the Valiant titles. Like Time Warner right now is talking about doing an Evangeline series, which would be awesome. Not sure if you guys are familiar with who she is or what her story is, but
yes, yeah, I had to think. Sorry about that. I did scrape.
But I think that I do kind of miss the exclusivity that we used to have as geeks. You know, it was kind of our thing.
Well, shit, you see someone wearing fucking stupid ass thick glasses. They're like, "I'm a geek." I'm like, "No, you're not. Shut the hell up."
How fast can the Millennium Falcon do the Kessel Run?
Yeah, no kidding.
Who
What did you
shot
predict?
Right.
Who shot first? Actually, what you have to do is just be like, "So, did you enjoy episodes 1 through 3?" If they say yes,
Yes, I'm gonna come to your house. I'm gonna not actually mouth rape because rape is fun.
Right. Maybe kick his
Knowledge of the extended universe.
the extended universe doesn't exist anymore that I know plenty
The
about.
extended universe that's canon, such as stuff from Knights of the Old Republic, and I'm blanking on everything else.
Republic Commando.
Republic Commando, Battlefront, essentially the movies. And then you got Jedi Outcast, your Jedi Academy.
I love Jedi Outcast. Kyle Katarn, he needs his own movie.
Those things are canon. So,
Right.
I will shoot you with the cannon.
It's an ion. Actually, no, you'll fly Slave 1 into their house and just be like, "What's up? I'm Boba Fett."
Yeah, it's
Boba Fett. And Robot Chicken too, because that shit's funny, even though it's not canon.
I love Fett on the chicken.
oh yeah, Robot Chicken. That's just
That's my bread and butter late night go to
Right.
when I'm really drunk.
every time I watch it, I agree. Every time I watch it, I like it because then you're like, oh my god, that was awesome. Then something else happens, it takes it to another level of just wrongness. You know? I mean, like I just fucking peed myself a little bit. You know?
Yeah.
So.
My favorite is the galaxy's greatest bounty hunter. What's the skit one where it's like shoots first and last?
Oh, Hunter in the Galaxy.
That's it. There it is.
One of my favorite ones is where he gets sucked in the Sarlacc pit. Not gonna cry. I'm Boba.
And he's crying. Are you crying?
No.
I'm not.
I'm just waiting for a parody episode where they're like, use the swords.
Let's take a moment and recognize how great of an actual human being Rick Moranis is.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, the dude's wife died, and he quit acting to take care of his children. How many guys would do that?
Right. Yeah.
Few and far between, man.
Rick Moranis?
Rick Moranis. I don't know. Rick Moranis is about the only one I've heard about.
I bet Jimmy Stewart would do it.
Keanu Reeves would do it.
Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah, Keanu would do it.
Jimmy Stewart would do it.
The Reaver. Keanu Reeves, the Reaver.
Actually, one of my favorite outside of Star Wars skits on Robot Chicken is where they have Keanu Reeves reading in for Agent Fox Mulder. He's like, "Oh no, Scully, the aliens are coming." Pauses for like a second. He goes,
Oh no, Scully, the aliens are coming.
That's not even right.
I did a pretty good Keanu impression, I think.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow. My favorite Keanu role though will ever be Shane Falco from The Replacements.
I don't know, that one he did where these dudes killed his dog was really good. I like that movie.
John Wick was good.
That was a good movie.
John Wick was really good, yeah.
Why does the camera keep getting closer to your face?
So for some reason, the
I'm gonna have a
artificial
seizure.
intelligence in my camera thinks that it needs to follow my face, and so it assumes that I want it to continue to do that, but I don't. So I'm turning that off right now.
Yeah. I
The
like
AI no
talking
longer
about
is in control. I control the AI.
talking about John. You know they're going to make a sequel to John Wick.
The AI has taken over his computer.
Call Cyberdyne. But yeah, John Wick 2 should be good. I wonder if they're going to kill his goldfish.
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know, man. You know what happens when you kill anything of John's.
All right, so can we get another Taken movie but starring Keanu Reeves as John Wick?
Oh, that'd be good.
They've taken his goldfish.
Taken 4, Goldfish Gone. I got a text. I have to give a shout out. Fitz is watching. Fitz is a good friend of mine. Hi, Fitz. Party on.
Mike Gilmer, he's watching too.
Yes, always.
Our faithful audience.
Talk about anything important since like half an hour into the show.
Right. Well, you know, John Wick is pretty
John
important.
Wick is important.
That is, I agree. John Wick is important. I had zero expectations when I saw that movie. I was sort of having, what was that movie? Not Matrix. That
The Lake House.
oh, not yeah.
What other movies is
That's the cyberpunk movie he made back in the 90s. Remember?
Scanner Darkly.
Scanner Darkly.
No.
I actually enjoyed that movie.
No, Scanner Darkly was
Are
good.
you trying to tell me Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure wasn't a cyberpunk movie from the 80s?
That was
Could have
That
been.
was totally cyberpunk.
47 Samurai was good. I was impressed with that.
47 Ronin?
Whatever. Ronin.
47 Ronin. Samurai.
that was pretty. Yeah, that one got horrible
I'm
reviews.
totally looking through his IMDb page right now. He was in Speed.
Well, yes.
I don't know.
How do you not know he was in? He made Speed.
I'm reminding you. You're so close. Get it.
I'm trying to read this.
You have your own computer.
Oh.
Yeah, but you have it up already.
Now, Devil's Advocate was good also with him.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, it was.
I forgot they made a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure TV series,
Oh yeah.
which he provided the voice.
It's a shame George Carlin isn't alive for the sequel.
Yeah. I'm trying to.
He had to be one of the funniest people on the planet, man.
Johnny Mnemonic. Johnny Mnemonic was the.
Oh,
movie I was
Johnny
thinking.
Mnemonic.
Yeah,
Johnny Mnemonic
that's
with
it.
the dolphin. And Ice-T.
Nice dude.
Speaking of dolphins, we're going to jump around with movie info. Ace Ventura, also around the same time
As Speed.
as Speed. Very quality film. We've gone from talking about gaming to talking about movies.
Now,
movies.
Ace Ventura has a special place in my heart because I'm a Dolphins fan, and
I'm
Marino
really
was in
sorry
that movie.
I don't know. Isn't that the one where he finally found Mr. Winky at the end of the? That was the.
Yes.
That
is
was the
funny.
best part.
I do have to say though, the second one is easily better.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
when he
hold
comes
on.
up the ass of that. Yeah, when he comes up the ass of the rhino.
However,
Which he did at the Academy Awards, and they asked him not to come back ever again.
hey Ace, do you have any more of that gum? That's none of your damn business, Dan, and I'd appreciate it if you stayed out of my personal affairs. You're a weird guy, Ace. Weird guy. He fights the Eagles mascot. That's honestly one of my favorite parts of film ever. Fuck the Eagles.
That is, yeah.
Fuck the Eagles, man.
Great.
So
Dude abides.
gonna try to move this train back on the track here. We're gonna talk about TV, gaming. We're talking about how terrible the Dungeons and Dragons animated series was.
I don't know. I didn't like it.
the poor D&D screen.
But
Why
that was
is
back
it?
during the time when,
Why is it that we can't get a quality Dungeons and Dragons big screen or small screen production from anyone?
Wait, hold on. You mean that one with Jason Statham doesn't count?
Oh, what was that? That was
It's not D&D, I know, but
The King's was the King's
horrible
Men or something like that.
No.
the Name of the King.
Name of the
King.
Yeah.
Well, I can name some movies with dragons in them, like Dragonheart 1,
Aragorn.
in which
Dragonheart 3.
No. I am talking specifically. I mean, look at the richness of Forgotten Realms.
Well, they made
Look at
3.
the depth of story in that world. Could they not take not a single storyline from there? They've got everything. They got the Dragonlance series from D&D. They've got the Drizzt series from Forgotten Realms.
I love Drizzt.
The Dragonlance cartoon was pretty good, though.
Yeah, I did like the old school '80s Dragonlance cartoon.
That was pretty good.
That was a guy's guy, kind of quirky.
The chicks were busty.
If I'm the studio, if I'm Wizards, and I have this huge intellectual property in Dungeons and Dragons, they have released these essentially big, giant cinematic games in Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, Neverwinter Nights. They're all D&D things, but instead of making it a movie that you go see once and then buy on DVD, they make it into a hugely expansive game.
However, not a lot of people know about those things.
That's true.
Right, that's true.
I haven't played the new Neverwinter RPG yet. I've been wanting to.
I almost actually bought it.
It's free play.
No. Shit, what's it called? Oh, it was on Steam. It was on sale for $10. I almost bought it
Was
for
it Neverwinter Nights?
No.
Well, I know there's a new
We have
Neverwinter.
that.
There's a new Neverwinter online or something.
Yeah, that's
like that.
free to
It's
play.
Yeah, that sucks.
I've played it, and
I don't like it.
it's follow the trail, do what the sparkly trail says to do, kind of, it's not the greatest. It doesn't keep you engaged, really. It is a game builder's, platform though. They give they give the game master a place to go and create dungeons and stuff like that.
I think there's a really specific niche in multi-platform entertainment things. Like, it could always fit. Like, I'm gonna take for instance my biggest letdown in middle school. I think it was the Aragon series becoming a TV or a movie, a full-length movie. It was nothing like the book. It completely tanked. The game was the movie game was terrible. And it essentially ruined the series from that point on. And it's something like that that's so rich in world and story and character, something like that. Like, if you do it right, you can have multi-platform games.
Absolutely, something that has such a depth to it. I mean, you don't need to do anything; it's already there.
I mean,
Right. Did you not? But we're talking about these older games. We're not, there's D&D Online, which sucked, and then there's the Neverwinter Nights, which I thought sucked. But have you guys seen any of the screenshots for the new Sword Coast Legends game coming out?
I have not.
Yes, I have, and I wanted to spend $500 to get their
Premium package.
memorabilia
Dude,
stuff.
That looks awesome.
I want it.
It's single player, it's multiplayer, and it can be set up for a dungeon master to run his own adventures through the game for other players. I mean,
Yeah, I definitely like. There's a guy on Kickstarter who developed a kind of Roll20 system that's similar to that, but this platform that Todd is talking about is so much more robust. I mean, it's like, let's go play D&D, but by the way, I live in Chicago and he lives in California. We still can enjoy the game the same way we do on a tabletop.
Yeah, it is tight. It is very cool.
Speaking of the silver screen, I'm absolutely going to hate this movie because I absolutely hate the game. But World of Warcraft.
We're not going to talk about the.
And, I mean, why can't Wizards figure out something like that to do?
I don't. All right, so my immediate problems with this, from strictly from a writing standpoint, what are they going to make the movie about?
Well,
like,
I know. Do we say World of Warcraft the movie is about World of Warcraft, the very first expansion? Is it the storyline that currently exists? Is it a whole new storyline? The characters, I mean...
Is there a trailer?
Yeah.
Is there a trailer for it yet?
I think so, or they just released stills. But the idea behind it is when the orcs and the humans first meet and decide to go to war. You know.
See, like, I don't want to see that shit.
Yeah, and I'm tired of these basic storyline. This is how everything started movies. Just get me into the fight.
It's just called Warcraft, by the way.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, origin stories are supposed to be like what you tell after the content is already rich and fulfilled, you know?
There's so much in the world of Warcraft universe. There's already so much stuff there that the only thing that they should really focus on is
having them roll D1s.
Is expanding the universe forward. Because, like, let's be cool. Like, Burning Crusade as an expansion probably would have made a really good movie that could have released a long time. Like something like Forward Unto Dawn that released when right before Halo 4. Was it before Halo 4? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Forward Unto Dawn that did awesome. I mean, it was essentially a prequel, but it showed a different side of that origin of where the war came from.
Yeah.
Burning Crusade would have been a pretty dope movie.
Yeah. So, I think that had a good premise.
That would have been good.
There was a good conflict there. They could have expanded the conflict. Yeah.
Yeah, but like all of their expansions up till Mist of Pandaria, because let's be real, that's Kung Fu Panda. That's already a movie.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I did play through Mist of Pandaria.
You sad soul.
Now I waited 6 weeks for the drop because I had everything else but that one, the shoulders, and yeah, after it dropped. And someone else got it, and I didn't, and I'd waited 6 weeks for it after rating, I was done. I called it quits.
Did you pull out your hard drive and throw it into the wild?
Honestly, like, so my World of Warcraft story is like, it goes like this. I got the game in high school when all my friends were playing, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to make it. I got to level 35, and then everybody stopped playing. And I was like, God damn it. So, way down the road, I'm cleaning out my room, and I find a WoW time card for the, 2 or 3 months you get on it.
Right.
So I start playing again. And I remember that the only thing I ever wanted in the game was to be level 55 so I could have a Death Knight. So, the very first thing I did was grind. Got to level 55, made my Dark Elf, or whatever, Death Knight, and then quit the game because I had nothing else to do. I was like, I was so focused on this goal while I was playing it that I'm really glad I did it now rather than then, because I probably would have. Well, I guess I shouldn't say I'm proud. But I would have saved myself a lot of headache. Because, like, doing the expansion stuff, I had no interest in doing that crap.
I don't think anyone does.
Yeah, I was actually... now, see, you guys are playing Warcraft. I was a beta tester for Ultima Online. Back in the day, as well as...
Is that the same Ultima that's also a pen and paper game as well?
So it was a series of games, Ultima 1 through I think 7 or 8, and then they came out with the first online game. The game, it was great. It was sort of a third-person perspective game. When that launched, the servers were so crushed by everybody playing. You click, and 27 minutes later, you take one step, and then some orc would come out of the woods and hand you your ass, and and then they would and what was worse, they'd loot your body, and you'd finally res, and you'd have like nothing. And huge with griefing. In fact, it was hilarious. The guy, Lord British, the guy who designed the game, created a character, and he came before thousands of people, and they killed him in the square. It was awesome.
Bastard! You killed Kenny!
Oh my God, I'm sorry, I lost the name Lord British.
Yeah, do you remember that? Come on, that's back in the day, man.
Oh my Lord British.
I was 17. My brother played WoW, and he was like, "Here, create a character. This is my WoW story." Okay. And I created a character. I did like 2 quests, and I quit. And I was like, "I'm going back to play pen and paper. This game sucks ass."
There's just, I think MMOs as a game platform are doomed to fail.
They are. I mean, they always go, it's a new exciting thing, and it has a subscription, and then 6 months later,
grind
it's free to
fest.
play.
Yeah,
It's
a grind fest, man.
Not buying into Elder Scrolls Online. I love the Elder Scrolls world. I love the lore, but I just cannot, for the life of me, give it.
Yeah, I was an alpha tester for Scrolls, and it was really bad. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever alpha tested an online game. Most of the characters have like these long programmatical names above their heads, and it's like 10000_246, and then your name, and then a lot of the palettes are different. And basically you're there to run time on the server to see how well the characters interact. Then once you get into beta testing, that's when they're actually testing the functionality of the game. But
then they do the server load tests and all that stuff.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, but I don't like it because I got a son who likes to play these online games, and they go, hey, they're free to play, and then he's like, Dad, I need $20. I'm like, why do you need $20 to play the game? Well, I need to buy this suit of armor. Or I got to buy 100 gold pieces. Or I got to buy. I'm like, holy shit, man! What great evilness has been released upon the world with these.
Speaking of paying for games,
watch the episode freemium.
Yeah.
South Park.
What do you guys think about?
I did see that episode.
So what do you guys think about this? Bringing it back to tabletop games, what do you guys think about the scale of monetary compensation that has been gradually increasing for tabletop games in general? Not only RPG tabletop games, but just the tabletop game. I mean, I've been reading online that the tabletop game is trending. And it's becoming, sort of a norm again, like the days of Monopoly and Yahtzee and Risk and all of that. What do you guys think about how much a game should cost?
Honestly, that really depends on what it is. I think, like, your mini war games, I understand, like, you have to buy your starter box to get into it, so you don't get overwhelmed with, like, a giant army. And you're like, well, I have all these guys, but they keep getting rolled, and I hear they're good. I mean, me learning War Machine, it's best to start small. And, I mean, I don't think that, as a company, you should bend your players over the 4x6 table and take it up the rear, trying to
or 4x8 or 4x4, whatever your table's on.
Trying to get the most money out of your players. I mean, if you have good enough content, they're going to keep coming back, buying your expansions, regardless of the price. And you shouldn't try to rape your players out of the checkbook, because then they won't be able to play, and then you have no one playing your game. Warhammer.
That wasn't even disguised at all. You must
Warhammer 40,000.
40K. You might want to spend like Warhammer 40K.
40K no Vaseline.
Talking to you, Codex number 12.
Retail value on games, it's a tough call because it really depends, because the cost of making these games is expensive. It's expensive to make this shit.
As we've discovered.
It's expensive to get all, like, for, you talk about Risk, so we'll just talk about Risk. It's expensive to get all those little plastic dudes molded and made and colored and put into a nice box and all the cards printed and all that stuff. It costs a lot of money to do that. So when you see a game for like $20 or $25 and it's brand new, I mean, that's not a bad price. And, like, I'm trying to think of some other examples, like Munchkin is the deluxe edition with comes with the board and dice.
It's like
everything.
$30, isn't it?
It's like, I think it's like $39.99. It might be $29.99. I don't remember.
He's here twice.
There we go.
Anyway, but it's really cheap.
Sorry about that.
No worries, man.
Yeah, it's really relatively cheap. Like, you can go out to a GameStop or something and buy a used game for anywhere from like $5 to $25 to all the way up to $45, depending on how good the game was. Or
I'm not spending $45 on a used game.
I mean, let's be real. Easier to buy a used game for video games than it is to buy a used game for board games, because then the pieces are missing, the cards are folded, all that crap. So it really has to come down to people who are getting into the tabletop community or are already in the tabletop community. There should be a common ground where you can all be like, okay, we understand we're buying this board game for $30, let's say. We understand it costs a lot to print the stuff, make the pieces, all that crap.
You guys still gotta make your money.
Right. And we just have to be okay with that. It's a hard thing that you can be like, oh, I could do this for cheaper, or I could whatever. I could crap on a piece of paper and sell it for $25 or something like that. But
they've done that. It's called 4th edition.
Oh, points. That was good.
But that stuff falls off the shelf.
I don't even know how that happened.
Board games bring people together in a different way than a used video game would. Like,
Right.
when you play a board game, you're around a table, you're right next to each other, you're looking each other in the eyes, you're screwing each other over, and it's not like I'm over the internet and I can't call you all kinds of expletives and things like that.
We do that in person.
You do that in person. And that's something that a video game can't do. Like, you could beat a video game and then trade it in and get another video game. But board games, you can keep playing and keep playing and keep playing and keep playing.
Yes, I think that tabletop games have a high replay value, and so because of that, I think that the price is warranted. Now, I've seen a slew of different tabletop games. We have a comic book shop, more like a warehouse here in Largo, Florida, and they carry, I think, 80% of the industry favorites for tabletop gaming. And they have a back room where they have all of them open and ready for people to play so that they can play test them to make sure this is something that they'd be willing to spend.
Sure, we should give a shout out to Emerald City Comics. We're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Of course.
Is it a friendly local game store? Because there are
It is.
It is. They're very friendly, and they
do a great job doing weekly events as well as doing a lot of cosplay superhero stuff, and they also donate to a lot of local organizations and charities, which I think is great.
But I think,
Jason.
yeah, I think back in the day, I remember my dad saying, "Okay, if you beat your mom in chess, I'll go and buy Monopoly." And I remember this was like 1983, and Monopoly, I think at the time was like $20. So in '83, $20 was a good deal of money.
$20 was a good chunk of change, sir.
Yeah.
You could buy a car still in like '83 for like $5,000 brand new.
So I think the price is relative to our time. I think $30 for a tabletop game is an awesome price. I think the majority of games are between, more like $39.99 and $59.99. I mean, I think Talisman cost us $60. I think it was $59.99 for Talisman 4th edition.
Well, Fitz, who's watching, actually just chimed in. It was like, let's play Dungeon together. And it reminded me, Dungeon that's based on 4th edition was only $20.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was amazing. And
I love being Drizzy.
We now have Dungeon Crawl, the board game, and that's something that you can do multiple times, play different characters and different play styles.
And we add our own rules even.
Yeah.
And do different things. But I mean, there's so much you can do.
I think there's an outlet for that. I think that there's literally an outlet for people. I mean, we remember back in the day, we'd place house rules, right? You're playing a game, you're like, okay, house rules, whatever. I think that there's an outlet to expand other expansions by submitting your own house rules and having that become its own expansion set.
That's actually really genius, honestly. I really like that. We play a homebrew. Tyler and I do. I wasn't there when they created it. He was like, "Hey,
it started in high school, and we
got this
revived
RPG. You want to play it?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I do."
Right on.
it's a great homebrew system. It's really well put together.
It's really simple.
It's simple, easy to learn. Like I learned it in like 20 minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as prices go, that's a tough like.
Well, too, I think you remember you get what you pay for sometimes in this day and age too. I mean, it's like, and I think people are going to be, personally, me, I'm willing to pay a little bit extra to get, I want to see sweet graphics. I want to see things that are clear. I want to see, instructions I can open the box up and I can play. I mean, there's like, you guys ever play Zombies? And
yes.
Yes.
Which freaking love the game, but the instructions are a little vague in. With some stuff, but it's a great tile game, and it's something you can sit down and play quick. We play this past Mother's Day. Jason brought his family over. We played. We taught him to play for the first time, and for what you get with the miniatures, I think that game is priced well, along with the expansions, and I don't mind paying that money for that, but I do wish the instructions were a little more clear.
I do agree. There's a lot of generalistic rule sets that leave room for interpretation.
Right. So,
hey, you know how you guys were talking about how D&D is done, or Wizards, or whoever the hell it is, running their digital production side for games, has done some great video games. Here's one that sucks, guys. I'm gonna go down a dark road for a minute.
Oh no.
Is this an Irish thing?
It's called War Machine Tactics.
Before we go into this, I would just like to put a disclaimer. Somewhere in the podcast backlog is like 4 episodes in a row of us talking about how much we hated this game that he's about to talk about.
Okay, all right. We are pre-warned.
Do I need to grab a beer for this one?
You might want to.
I'll wait.
With alcohol.
You might actually.
With alcohol.
It's regular bang juice in this one. So it's called War Machine Tactics. Are either of you guys familiar with War Machine or IKRPG?
Yeah.
The Iron Kingdoms? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Right on.
Oh, you've actually played this monster fucking game, huh?
No, I'm aware of it. I never played it.
Well, don't waste your $40.
It went on sale. I'll just like to add, it went on sale on the Steam sale for $20.
Really?
I wouldn't spend 3 cents on it.
No, you couldn't give this game to me and ask me to play it. I logged 28 hours into the campaign, and I still couldn't get past Mission 8.
I've watched YouTube video of it.
I cannot.
It is horrible execution with so much promise. The graphics are beautiful when you're playing the game. The cutscenes suck.
The cutscenes are still
nut.
shots with voiceovers and subtitles.
Oh no.
It sucks left nut.
It's you want to talk like, I understand trying to make the game like the video game version slightly different than the tabletop, but when you completely change essentially what the tabletop is to put it into a game, oh, it hurts.
I tell people this a lot. And from a singer's perspective, I think this is more clearly put in this way. When an artist of any kind is struggling, right, that's when they produce their greatest work. And so you get that blood, sweat, and tears poured into this idea, and then it becomes great. And then they produce something that's not so much work, they're kind of half-made, and so they get there. And then after they're already made and they've done what they've done, and their name is a household name, now they can produce whatever it is that they wanted to produce, not what someone else wanted them to produce. And so they're like, oh, everybody will like this because I like it. And so they produce this thing that's like, subpar, because they weren't playing to the audience, they were playing to themselves. And so I think that happens across the board in anything. And that's what happened with the War Machine.
Are you referencing Van Hager? AKA Sammy Hager? Van Halen when it went bad?
Hagar?
Van Synthesizer?
Van Synthesizer. Alright. Whoever told him the song Jump was a great idea should be shot.
Well, it's probably Eddie Van Halen, but it probably sounded like.
Eddie Van
Yeah,
Halen.
I'm convinced that was a studio stunt. I'm convinced that was a studio stunt.
He probably wrote the song. Let's be real. He probably wrote the song, and then Eddie Van Halen showed up in the studio and went rolling in on his freaking bags of money from their first album, and went, okay, we're gonna play
exactly
the
right.
guitar.
Well, no. Eddie Van Halen left Van Halen, and Van Halen was like, "We're still going to continue on. Let's find someone to replace Eddie Van Halen." So they found
David
Sammy
Roth.
Hagar.
No, it wasn't Eddie Van Halen that left. It was David Lee Roth, the lead singer.
Yeah, well, yeah, he left, and so Sammy Hagar came on. However the hell you say his name, I don't give a shit. He sucks ass, and created this horrible fucking sound. Ugh. It's like
I don't think we can
band.
dignify it with the
I'm
word
convinced
sound.
that when
Noise. I think we'll call it noise.
Yeah.
I'm not a Sammy
that
fan.
when, when David Lee Roth left, they came in and Sammy Hagar was like probably a huge fanboy of the band. Like, oh my god, I wrote all these songs. Here, you just have the guitar here, and here. And we're done. So and Eddie Van Halen, who gets up from his money from, picks up his guitar and goes, and then was like, okay, let's go on tour. Then they got on a bus made of money and rode around the United States.
It was a
and made
bus
even
made
more
of
money.
blow.
Yeah.
It was a bus made of blow.
And cigarettes.
Yeah, a lot of cigarettes.
So that's that. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Uh,
Sammy Hagar. I don't know.
So on tonight's show, to recap here, we've talked about probably everything from important things all the way to how Sammy Hagar affected me.
Well, you know, I'm glad you guys have got such high standards in production, which is awesome. So we're good.
We just go with the flow. We're like Buddhism.
I think it's seriously because we're literally working with no budget.
You're right. We know how that is, man.
Oh yeah.
We have all these huge budgets like EA and things like that, where they're like, we can make a game, make a couple $1 billion off of it, or a couple $100 million, and still be in the green or in the black or whatever.
Right.
Meanwhile, we're over here scraping pennies together to try to pay for lunch so we can keep going.
Right. Right.
And I think that kind of changed our attitude about the whole the design process. We just want to make something that's good and can stand on its own and deserves to be called something, deserves to be a game, not something that I feel like that Steve Jackson threw together to make a couple $100 million to buy a new house.
Are you talking about that
All
cop
the
game?
Munchkin expansions.
Cop game?
Oh, the Munchkins. Oh, see, that's after the whole girl. Yeah.
So not necessarily. Not that the Munchkin expansions are bad, but it feels like Steve Jackson goes.
Horrible.
Steve Jackson also has a money throne. I don't know if you knew that. He's one of the few tabletop gaming people who has a money throne. But I feel like he just kind of went, his throne needs to be bigger. Munchkin expansion. Somebody license this for me.
Hey kid, give me that shitty idea you got. I'm gonna charge you so much.
That's honestly like.
Hey, what is that you're drawing on a napkin? Give me that.
I feel like most recently, the Adventure Time Munchkin came out, so I feel like.
But wasn't that a comic book series before it launched into a game?
That cop one? Yeah.
Axe Cop.
Stupidest shit ever.
Two of the people listening right now, I think actually enjoyed. I know Logan, who's listening right now. I know he enjoyed it. I actually didn't like it, and I know
Axe Cop sucks.
it was written by. You got to keep in mind it was written by an 8-year-old. I think he was 8. I don't remember.
He's probably like 20. And Steve was like, "You're 8." This is
if you don't read
You're
the
8
text,
years old.
Good for marketing. It's good for marketing.
if you don't read the speech bubbles and look at the art is really cool. Like that's pretty cool. But it's just yeah. I mean, I'm scrutinizing an 8-year-old now. Listen to me.
Right.
But and I feel like when you get to a certain point, like Steve Jackson has with Munchkin, he could go to a studio and make I want to make Star Wars Munchkin, and then Lucasfilm would be like, oh my god, we love Munchkin, let us make the game for you, and Steve Jackson's like, okay.
Right.
I know. That's how it happens, right? You're like, oh, I don't know if we should mention this to them. They're gonna they're gonna sue us, and they turn around and they're like, oh my god, we love you guys.
Right.
We now own you. You are ours. We own your souls.
It's like Sid Meier's. Sid Meier's probably has people being like, I'm a huge fan. Check out my game. And then he's like, I want to make that mine. Can I put my name on it?
Yeah. What is that? Garbage World? Yes.
Simulator? Yeah, let me throw my name on Sid Meier's Railroads.
Sid Meier's, the garbage guys.
Oh, you made a combat game about air combat in World War I and World War II? Yeah, I'm gonna put my name on that. They're gonna call
Sid
that
Meier's the Sopwith Camel.
Sid Meier's Ace Patrol and Sid Meier's Pacific Skies. Oh, you made a game about pirating, which is actually really fun if you ever play it. Called Sid Meier's Pirates.
Piracy.
So yeah, so there's that.
I mean, there's so many games out there, like how EA releases their games. They're like, let's cut out some stuff and make people pay extra for it.
I have a story about them if you guys want to hear it.
We want to hear it.
Okay, so I was in college, right? And one of the things that happened when we were in college was that EA would drop by and they would drop like 3 applications on our teacher's desk. Not 10, not 15, not a stack. They would put 3. And they would instruct the professor to only give these applications to his best and brightest students. So, of course, he just gave them to the people that kissed his rear end, you know. Well, he was using the bathroom, and I saw them on the desk. I had no idea about this whole, you know, he gives them out to people. So I just saw him on a desk, and I was like, oh, yeah, games, that's cool. So I grab one, and I fill it out, you know, and I send it in. And they have this very secretive process, right? So they send you this cryptic email through their shark mail, and they say, okay, we're going to send you some questions, and it's a 20-question questionnaire, and we need you to fill out all the answers and send it back to us. So I'm like, okay, easy, right? So the 20 questions are all OpenGL, trigonomic, you know, geometry questions, obviously because of the graphics engines that they build and all of the translighting shadows and polygons and stuff. So you got to know your math.
But they sacrifice people's souls for those things now.
Oh yes, yes they do. Now let me get to the meat of the story. So I fail horribly, right? I don't even get in the door. They don't even entertain my application. I got like 15 of 20 right, and they're like, yeah, that's not good enough. So one of my friends got into EA, right? He actually got in. There's a big red brick building, and in the back of the building, they literally have like a trailer park parking lot. Not trailer park like trailer parks that you see living quarters. I'm talking about mobile homes that you can like move, like the big RVs, you know, like the really nice ones you see movie stars have. They have an entire parking lot full of them. And during production times, people don't go home. They go and sleep in those things, and then they come back to work. So my friend had been there about 6 months, and then he was married for about 2 years, right? So one day he calls me, and this guy's, I'm not going to lie, I mean, he's not very social. You know, he's kind of quirky, and he's an introvert, and he doesn't do well in crowds and all that. But, you know, he was married to his wife for a couple of years, and he calls me one day, and he's like, man, I can't take it, man. You got to get me out of here. And I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? He was like, they won't let me leave. And I was like, what do you mean they won't let you leave? Just walk out the door. And he was like, I can't. They took my pass. I was like, dude, this isn't the movies, man. Just freaking walk out the door. So 2 days later, he's like, calling me up. He was like, hey, man, can you come pick me up? My car won't start, blah, blah, blah. He left his lights on or whatever. So I come and pick him up, and I was like, yo, man, are you okay? You, like, freaked me out the other day. He was like, man, we had to get Madden out, and they didn't care, you know, what we did. They wanted it out, and they weren't letting anybody leave until it was done. So I see him, like, one or two more times. He's gone. Like, a year goes by, and I get a call from him, and he was like, man, He's like, I gotta quit this job. I was like, you still working at EA? And he's like, yeah. He was like, my wife divorced me. I haven't seen the kids in like 6 months.
Holy fuck!
I was like, how much are they paying you? And he was like, well, it depends. He was like, I get like 150 grand a year, but then we get like $25,000 and $30,000 bonuses if we meet quota before the release dates. I was like, no wonder people are sweating their freaking blood out for EA. They're freaking paying them up through the nose. I mean, granted, software engineers make between $35 and $75 an hour, depending on the industry they're in. But to get paid that kind of money, I mean, that's VP money.
Yeah.
But that's my story from EA. They drain you dry and make your wives divorce you because you never home.
Did you ask him if they had? You've seen Monsters Inc., correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Do they have something like the Scream machine that Randall built that they suck their soul out?
Speaking of engineers, I just got into Penn State's aeronautical engineering program.
I'm very jealous right now. I'm very jealous. My first love was aerospace engineering.
Yep.
But unfortunately, I decided to go party instead of using my scholarship. So
well, I have a theater degree.
I suck.
I decided to
Well, I'll have my associates in mechanical engineering next spring. So
I'm very jealous.
If you get in touch with that friend again, you might just want to like send him some texts or emails or something. Just be, hey, just checking to make sure you're still alive.
I know, right?
I'm just making sure you're not a husk of a man who's lost his
All right, you're gonna have to go look him in the eye for that one.
Yeah, you know how they just stare off into the distance and they're like, yeah.
I was
going to say they're shell shocked from EA, right?
He's a designer, so we'll call it the 1,000-pixel stare.
Yeah.
He has to go.
Dude, man, you're missing some pixels, man. You're not looking very good.
Pixel traumatic stress syndrome.
Yeah, he has to go to he has a support group. There's a EA Anonymous.
It's like the opposite of rehab, though. They take them there when they're their shell, the husk of a man, like rehab, but instead of telling them there's more to life than drugs, they just show them that this is what life was like before you were here. This is air. This is green grass. This is fresh air.
Go roll on that grass field for a little bit.
Have some of this grass. This will help.
We're gonna fly to Colorado for 4 days. We're gonna rehab you.
You can also take this boat out, this fishing gear. You might not do anything with it, but
that's just okay. There's a cooler of beer in the boat. You'll know what to do.
you can figure it out.
Yeah.
So, oh man. Well, this has been good. I think we need to wrap up, though. We're over the hour and a half we set ourselves for.
Yeah, we do.
It's been an hour and a half already? Oh, shit, man. That's funny.
You guys gotta come back, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Have us on your podcast.
Yeah, we'll get you on there.
We want to do that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we got more questions for you, too. I'll have my camera working also next time. I apologize for that.
Hey, no worries, man.
We had a lot of fun this week.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
do you guys ever travel?
Not yet.
Do what?
Do we travel?
I wish.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, we're still scraping pennies together to buy lunch. So.
Yeah, we hear you, man. Oh,
I
hey,
don't have two quarters
again,
stuck together to make $1.
right. A points for the Boondock Saints sign behind you, too. That's also pretty good. Still.
Yeah, for sure.
In our
Definitely
very
a
first
Walking Dead
episode-
fan here.
In our very first episode, Larry.
And if I could say, I'm a Walking Dead fan from the comics when it was uncool to be reading them. So, yeah.
Yeah. Tony Hawk skateboard from the 90s.
I've got a lot
I'm
of
digging the Tony Hawk skateboard. I had one myself.
It's a birdhouse deck. It's glorious.
Oh, nice.
I got a lot of stuff back here.
Oh yeah.
I got made fun of for having my PAL board for a while, and then I got a Tony Hawk.
Fundamentals for school.
I got lighter fluid.
You got a bunch of shit.
A bunch of crap back here.
Oh, the
Mostly.
original Iron Kingdoms. RPG.
Oh, nice.
Oh, the Iron Kingdoms. Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
Wow, that's
We have
That's
the new
priceless.
C6 and we have the D20.
Now, Now I need you to impress me. Pull out an old Paranoia game box.
I do not have that one here, my friend.
All right, pull
however-
out an old D&D manual.
First edition.
You guys are fucking hardcore tonight. I hate you.
Dude,
I
you guys ever play Paranoia?
I've heard of it. I haven't played it.
I'd love to play it.
Oh my god, the whole point of that game is you screw everybody else at the table and you turn them into the man. It is a great game.
Oh yeah, no, I have heard. Yeah. Okay.
Remember, you got badges or different access when you played. Oh, I played that at Gen Con back in the '80s. I'm an old guy. I apologize.
I'll find my AD&D player's manual for next time. I can impress you with that.
Yeah. Now, hey, one more question. I got a very serious. Do you guys play Call of Cthulhu?
Yes.
All right, right on. All right, that's cool.
I played Call of Cthulhu.
He introduced me to it, actually.
We used to play Arkham Horror in the dorm.
Oh, that's cool.
And we even had our friend even went to the extent of making our own character. My friend found you can make your own character cards.
Yeah.
They made us those depending on how we like to play the game. Like I like to do the action stuff where you jump through the portal and do all the crazy weird stuff. That was me. I like to explore the stuff.
All right, so you're first to die.
Yeah.
Sanity loss. Sanity loss. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I hit dragons on the nose with my mace. Yeah.
But Cthulhu's awesome. Yeah, I run I used to run a Halloween game of Cthulhu every year, and it was a lot of fun. Anyway, we could keep going, but you're right. Yeah, let's talk again, man. That'll be awesome.
Yeah. Well,
absolutely.
Definitely have you guys back on again.
Yeah.
So closing thoughts.
This has been episode 23 of At the Tavern on the 23rd with Geek Arch, or TGA.
That's right.
You can check them out at geekarch.com. No
spaces.
Yeah, no spaces.
I mean, you can't
obviously.
put spaces in a word president, but
Yeah.
There are people out there that try.
Yeah. It's frightening, that is. Right.
Yeah.
Keep updated on our website for some press releases and some new updates coming out.
Artwork next week, and we have a co-host, our artist, next week. And
Pat and I, probably within the next half an hour or so, are probably going to be live streaming us playing Saints Row 3.
It's gonna be
so
like the next
feel free to
5
join
minutes,
us on
dude.
that.
It's gonna be 5 minutes, bro.
So this has been At the Tavern episode 23. I'm Tyler.
I'm Patrick. Oh, and Geek Arch, if there's anything you guys ever need, hit us up. We'll help you out.
All right, hey, man. It was a blast. Thanks for
We
having us on.
appreciate you guys.
So we will see you next week.
All right. Take care.